Hello, blessed be. All right. I don't know if this is going to turn into a long discussion or if it's going to turn into a short discussion. I'm not sure if I'm going to get trolled or what's going to happen with this one. But I want to talk to y'all about something important. Okay. For my love reunion clients, um, I have clients who are dealing with black magic breakup spells, doom spells. People do all kinds of things, okay? They do. They do all kinds of weird things, and weird things happen. And so some of you guys are in contact with your exes, and some of you are not. Um, some of you are even still intimately involved with your exes, okay? And, something happened to where maybe you were demoted or they demoted you for whatever reason. Somebody could have cursed your relationship, did some kind of, I don't know, they're doing rotting corpse spells and rituals. People can be really, really hateful. And I think that it's all in good timing. I think that when you are meant to be with somebody, you're going to be meant to be with them in that space and time where it's supposed to happen. The problem can be where people will, put all sorts of extra energies in there and confusion and, all of that stuff. So there's many, many different situations, many, many different ones. Okay. Um, but what I wanted to come and talk to y'all about was, so you and your ex, and you want a love reunion with this person, and you want the love reunion before, you know y'all both turn 70. You don't want to wait until you 70 and reunite with that person. That's not cool. Okay. So you come and you get love work, and some of you guys will get the love domination jars. I highly recommend them. They counteract the negative effects of even blood magic. Okay. And so, pretty much as long as that is in place, that person will never be able to stray far. Okay. And but the one mistake that people make is watching their ex's social media. Don't do that. If you are still Facebook friends with them, hide their posts. Okay. Don't look at anything that they do in social media. First of all, nobody should be in social media. Nobody. It's nothing but a breeding ground for attacks, demons, astral attacks, and all of the like. Okay. But while you're going through this phase of bullshit, um, your ex is going to post all kinds of crazy things in social media. And, some of you guys are really sensitive to social media posts. Um, but really, social media is a variety of different things. People may share different posts, different things, memes and videos, and it's something that is irrelevant and it's not important. Stop watching their social media. I'm not telling myself that I don't watch any of my ex's social media. If it's somebody that I don't talk to, or even sometimes if it's somebody that I speak to, I don't want to have a connection with somebody through social media. I'd rather have a real connection with them where me and them talk and see each other. Okay. But watching their social media, it it kind of implies that what it looks like to me is that you either don't have an intuition about what's going on with them. It can imply that maybe you really don't belong in a relationship with them, which that is very, very minuscule, because a lot of you guys that have exes in social media, you guys are going to be together. You love that person. You know that you are going to be with that person. Um, and there's no need to watch their social media because it's irrelevant. First of all, especially if you're dealing with a male, ex will post things in social media just to make you jealous and upset. And you need to ignore that. Okay. Ignore social media posts meant to make you jealous. Your ex is purposely trying to make you jealous. In particular, if it's a man. Now, we spoke about this earlier during the readings. Men get bad advice from other men on love. And a lot of the times when your ex is still trying to make you jealous or they're trying to make you jealous, it means that they still want you. That's what that means. It means that they want you. But on some level and capacity, they're not ready. Maybe they're stubborn. Maybe they're crazy. But that means that they still want you. That means that they want you. That's all that means. And they want you to want them too. But the problem is that sometimes people are very dysfunctional when it comes to love. And they do have to learn. They have to learn that a lot of those things that are being done, for example, I have witnessed, you know, men and women just over and over and over again, reliving and playing out this game where it's just over and over and over again. And, that comes from their insecurity. And insecurity can come from many different places. It can come from past life. It can come from possession. It can come from their upbringing. So a person that behaves that way is insecure. It doesn't make them your enemy because they're insecure. It just makes them insecure. Okay. Insecurity is a huge thing because it's very scary, you know, and 9 times out of 10, when you were with this person, those feelings that they were experiencing of falling in love can be very difficult. They're scared. They feel weak. They're unsure. They're still carrying baggage from their previous relationship. All sorts of things can happen. You have to find happiness and do what you do and not stalk their social media. Don't watch their Facebook pages, their Instagram pages. It's not worth it. It's all meant to hurt you. A lot of the times, your exes will post things in social media to hurt you, and you have done nothing to them. You've never cheated. You never did anything, but for some reason, there's always this invisible, paranoid delusion that they may be in at that moment. And again, it doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. It just means that they're going through something, and especially if somebody done did some black magic. If I'd have known what I know now, I would suggest anybody that is in an intimate relationship with another person, in particular when you're dealing with a male and you're a woman, to make sure that you do your love dominations. It's just a jar, and you put it on the shelf and you live life. Because once, everybody always feels that their love for somebody or their love with somebody is invincible. Every couple feels that way because it's so strong. The feeling is so strong. But then when that breakup work kicks in, and all them demons and spirits and bad intents kick in, you just want to kill each other. The time frame that you're split from that person, it's actually a healing phase. And it's not necessarily something that you want to rush all the time. It really depends. It really does. Depends on the situation. It depends on what you want or need out of that person. And it depends on it depends on what your relationship with that person is. What is it about? Are you inseparable? Did you have a deep connection prior to breaking up? Well, if that's the case, then they're going to return and come back to you very quickly, sometimes within a couple of days. And it also depends on the practitioner. I always write healing and protection into my work. And so typically, when it comes to love reunions, it typically happens very fast, okay? But watching their social media is not meant to bring people close together, it's meant to tear people apart. It's not meant to bring people closer together. I wish I could say that, but that's not the case. Social media is very, very malevolent. In fact, it's kind of a good idea to separate your entire love life from social media, and instead of being in the habit of posting in social media, you and your partner actually take pictures and get them printed out and hang them on the wall. Everybody wants to do everything digitalized. So, but that's one of the things that I feel people should get back to doing. When you take pictures of your children, instead of posting them out in social media for everybody to see them, people that you don't know, actually go to a photo printing place, get the photos printed, frame them, and put them on the wall. That is one of the most powerful things you can do. I actually had one of my witchy clients suggest that I do that. Put a photograph of myself by my front door. That way, it's a protection thing. Okay. And but social media is what it is. Um, whatever is in this machine wants to eat you. Okay, literally all of your negative emotions, and it done got quite greedy because that's why there's a lot of people that left social media. Okay, that's why I still advertise my business in the newspapers. I still advertise my business in the Thrifty Nickel because there's a lot of people that are not online. I still advertise my business. I'm getting ready to put my company in the yellow pages. Okay, I've been meaning to do that for quite some time, but I'm going to do that because there's some people, they don't want to touch social media. They still have cable. They don't watch social media. They don't like it, especially Facebook. A lot of when you see drama in social media, that energy draws views. So there was a little while, both Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, but mainly Facebook. That's why a lot of people hate Facebook because for a while, there were people literally committing suicide on Facebook, killing people on Facebook, and a lot of these websites, it's demons. But when it comes to watching your ex's social media, I always suggest you to not do that. Unfollow them. Okay. Because, especially if you're dealing with somebody that possibly is possessed or, under some kind of baneful black magic, they're going to do weird things. Your ex may post themselves in social media, with several different women surrounding them. And then you looking at that and you like, oh my God, I hate the, but they're doing that because they want to make you jealous. Why people think that that is a healthy way to deal with their love relationships, it has a lot to do with their insecurity. You don't actually love them unless you're trolling their social media, and they want to get a response out of you. They want you to acknowledge that, oh, I saw you doing this or that, or what are you doing? They're trying to get your attention. And unfortunately, we fall in love with people that do stuff like that. You can't help who you love. You can't help who you love. Hey, Cole. Cole said, oh, it's hard. I'm not a client, but my ex is under a spell. He hurts me often. I'm trying to let go. Mm, yeah. How long has it been since you've seen or heard from him or her? You don't have to let go. Let go for what? What is telling you to let go? Is he or she with somebody else? What's going on? It seems like that negative spirit is always trying to get you to let go of people that you love, and you're not supposed to. You ain't just got to let go of people, you know? If it's a love interest, if it's somebody that you've never went, anywhere with or if haven't had any experiences, because I've seen people getting hooked on people in social media and never having even met that person. Now that is it, but if you've met that person and you know that person, then there's no need to let anybody go. Okay. But you'd have to tell me more about that. But yeah, um, spells. The mother of his child, 2 months, she has his money, paying people in the island to do spell work on him around the clock. She did a lot of separation spells on us, and we finally separated. And now you got to do a reversal. You need to do a reversal. It doesn't matter if the practitioner is on an island, in an old hut, over in the rainforest, okay? In a mm, you went to the Lord. Mm, that's a shame. You went to the wrong spiritualist then. Mm-mm-mm. And what I'm picking up on is that those people just want to use him. They just want to use him, take it, take his money and stuff like that. Yeah, that's so sad. That's really sad that that happened. Because I've had clients that have came to me. I've had clients that have had several different things going on. Um, but I've also had clients that have paid me, a little over 1,000, and they got their person back. So that's a shame. Mm-mm-mm. And you said paying people in the island. So if somebody is paying several different witches, whether or not they are in the same coven or in a set, or if they're solitary, if they're paying several solitary witches, you still have to treat it like you're dealing with a coven. Okay. So I'm sorry that you did that, that you went through that. That's sad. You would think that the person would just tell you, hey, I can't get this person back for you. But you never know. You never know. Hey, listen, it depends on how long ago you did it. It still could work. So, people that get caught up in social media sensationalization, I call it's the sensation of social media. When they get caught up in that, and they're posting all this stuff, and they'll post videos and pictures of each other together, and once the couple of seconds from the camera shutter finishes, those people hate each other's guts and really don't want to be together. So, yeah. So you can't always go by social media. Social media doesn't really mean anything. Anybody can come and post anything in social media. And then also, they got all kind of reface apps and stuff. Uh-huh. People can really, and that negative spirit will make people do all kinds of stupid stuff. Okay? But without reading it, I can't tell, what the situation is. So, but I wish you luck with everything. Hey, Ziana, I texted you earlier. Did you get my text? I had texted you earlier and you didn't ever get back with me. It's too late now. I ain't doing no readings tonight. Uh, yeah, there's no, like, really, to be honest with you, like I see real couples in social media, but a lot of couples are not on social media at all. He is a pro athlete. He has a supermax contract. We're all from the islands. I was with him before he even got to the MBA. It's hard, and I feel like my spiritualist doesn't understand. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, you're more than welcome to contact me for a reading, sweetie. You definitely ain't, unless you get like 10 different workings, you're definitely not going to spend thousands with me unless you get like 10 different workings. Yes, girl, I texted you and you didn't get back with me. I was like, where is she? Because I wanted to talk to you earlier. That was hours ago, though. Let me see what time I had texted you. I had texted you. Let me check. Hold on, there it is. I think I had even. But that was yesterday when you had texted me. And yesterday I was doing some client work like all day. Hold on. Readings. I had texted you about 8:51 p.m. Oh yeah. You so silly, Zayana. Well, we can do it. We can do it later on today. My Modern Witch Tarot deck. I've used that deck a lot. I get a lot from that deck. I get a lot. Like it is so. I love that deck. I can see like it just I don't know. It's just I can see so much with that deck. You know. You're welcome, Cole. Yeah, get at me. Get a consultation. My consultations are either an hour or either an hour and 15 minutes because sometimes it takes longer. And let me give you this coupon code too. Make sure you get the discount like everybody else. All right. Hold on a second because I'm doing a Christmas special. Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that in private because I'd like to know if a breakup working was done, what was done to actually, get that person, or it could be that the work that you already paid for just hasn't manifested yet. But, if you feel confident in your spiritualist, then you do. And it don't sound like you feel very confident in whoever you're working with, but, you know, yeah. So, yeah, whenever I get up tomorrow, just text me or I'll text you, one or the other. You're welcome. So, yeah, like I said, um, now for me, because I hear different advices that I don't want to get into that. I'm not going to get deep into what I was going to say. I'm not going to do that, but I can tell you that watching their social media is a big mistake because God only knows what they're up to. You know what I'm saying? You know what they're doing. And when somebody is still playing those kind of games or just still playing or whatever, it could be many different reasons why they're doing that. You know what I'm saying? And people just go through what they go through. You know what I'm saying? People go through what they go through for whatever reason. Okay. Now that soul retrieval ritual that I did, that's what I've been doing on probably about 60% of my love cases. And when I talk to people about it, I can sense a confusion like, what? People get really confused about that. People get really confused about that. And so a lot of the times, like I said, when I am reuniting two lovers, sometimes I'm reuniting that person with their body. And I know that that is a hard pill to swallow, but it is what it is. And with some people, that takes longer than others. Some people, it can happen really, really fast. Some people, it can happen, it can take, you know, a few weeks. Some people, it can take a month. Okay. But, when they're posting in their social media and they're purposely trying to make you jealous, that to me, I feel like when a person is trying to upset you, and then you get to wondering, is this person seeing more than me? Well, that would depend. You have to ask yourself and look at the relationship. You have to seriously ask yourself and think back of what that person has said to you, what has happened, how y'all connected, and people can do this. This is the whole thing about it, is that because a lot of people have asked me this question, especially about the love domination, and people will say, well, what about a person's free will? Sometimes people and their free will can cause disastrous effects on their life. Okay. Sometimes people will have a free will to go and do things that are going to get them in a lot of trouble. So, and it depends on the associations that they have, the type of people that they hang around with. And so sometimes you're actually doing that person a favor and you're saving their life, because some people are around people that just ain't worth a damn. They just, and I've seen it. I have seen it. I've had people that came to me and got a consultation for love work and they didn't do it and came back to me 6 months later, and the person had gotten killed because they was hanging around the wrong people and being dominated, not towards love, but love can be dominating, but then again, also death, destruction, disease, all of that can be a dominant force in somebody's life. So for me personally, I would rather love dominate my life. I don't want pain and suffering to dominate my life. Okay. Yeah, seriously, Marcus. Sometimes, love is being wrapped up in somebody's love is better than some of this other stuff that's out there. I mean, y'all see what just happened to Shanquilla, you know? So, yeah. That's why I'm always at home. I like being at home. I know I'm safe here. Honestly, it ain't nothing out there. Okay. Why do you think you struggle with love though? Do you think it's a self-love thing? You know what? I was just doing a reading, and like it seemed like there's some sort of invisible force that causes us to hate ourselves for whatever reason. Like if you're a witch, witches are taught purposely to hate themselves or just anything that you might be. If you're a man, you're taught to hate yourself on some capacity. If you're a woman, I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The main thing that I see with women is that we are taught through the media and even in the Bible to hate our own menstrual cycle. People are taught to hate themselves. Hey, Heather. Hello. Sometimes I feel I'm not good enough. It's not that I've done anything wrong. I just feel unworthy when I find a great woman. Oh, that must be coming from your childhood. Or maybe that's coming from your ex. That's coming from somewhere. Yeah, you know what? That's a spirit, Marcus. That's a spirit. You know? Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, Heather. Yes. I'm doing great. How are you? How are you? Yeah, I love my period too. I actually like the way it makes me feel, as weird as that sounds, you know? But we're taught to hate ourselves for whatever reason. Just for being human. Weird. Absolutely weird. But yeah, it's really difficult to find, so that's why with social media, here on YouTube, I watch a lot of movies. When you watch a movie, even though the movie can be based upon a true story, you know that it's not real. But when I come on YouTube, I really, really, really like to watch cooking channels, decorating channels. Some of my favorite ones, cooking and decorating. Okay. Yeah. But a lot of this stuff in social media is just meant to program you and to make you hate yourself. Oh yeah. Oh. So when you get somebody, she's gonna have to be your mother and nurture you because your mother never did. I know that's right. Yeah, that's hard. But that's what's your zodiac sign, Marcus? Because y'all memory be messing y'all up. Y'all remember stuff too much. You got to forget about that stuff. You got to forget about those feelings of not being loved. That's what the cleanses are good for. And I realized that um not too many people do cleanses the way I do, you know. Oh yeah, yep. Yep, Virgo is Mercury. I knew you had some kind of connection with Mercury. They have a hard time forgetting anything. And it's very hard, like for like if you are connected to Mercury, it's really hard for them to let go of religious limitations as well. Um, yeah, Yeah, well, you don't need a therapist, you need a spiritualist if that's the case. If you're already seeing a therapist and you're still doing that, I mean, if you're seeing the therapist, why hasn't it changed? Because you probably need spiritual work. It's probably an actual spirit communicating with you. Spirits, malevolent forces, they know what you went through as a child. They know the struggles emotionally and mentally, and they will use it. And this is something that is happening more than ever these days. Okay, you go once a week. Yeah. You need to see a spiritualist and start getting cleanses and stuff and healings. But I feel like you also need some kind of astral protection. Your home planet Mercury is a very, very good planet, but it's also very evil. Mercury is, oh, it's an evil planet. It is. Okay. Even when you go and listen to the space sounds for Mercury, it just sounds really creepy. It's like this is creepy. What is this? Go look that up when y'all done or while y'all watching this. Look up Mercury sounds from space. And I'm talking about the actual raw. I'm not talking about like the Mercury meditations. I'm talking about the actual creepy sounds that come from Mercury. It's not that it's all bad, but it's very confusing. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Yeah, it sounds like somebody being electrocuted or something. Is this a real do I think your self-hate is what drove you into doing adult entertainment? Probably. You're probably replacing actual love with just sex. Mm-hmm. I would say definitely. What kind of adult entertainment do you a gigolo or something? I'm looking at the title of your I'm trying to ignore the title of your YouTube handle. Um yeah, that right there is gonna being in adult entertainment is gonna totally cancel out any women that are gonna love you and nurture you. Because a lot of women that are gonna love you and nurture you are gonna be totally scared off by you being in adult entertainment. They're gonna be like, oh God, no. Because there's some women that they be all over the place. And then there's some women that, they like, are you gonna be monogamous with me? Because if you ain't, we can't go together. Okay. There is seriously. So if you like, I don't know what kind of adult entertainment you mean, like if you're constantly on OnlyFans collaboration, okay. Are you like having sex or something? Because I don't know. Type of woman that I am, I have to be in love with somebody to be intimate with them. And so, I expect the same, you know. Yeah, see a one I can already tell you that, a woman with my mindset is going to be like, hell no. And so that's leave you with other people. And it's not saying that they can't love you, if they're sort of open and free with their body, but it's no, I am saying that. So yeah. Okay. Well, you better be careful with that because even if you're using protection, that's still kind of unsafe. Okay, that's kind of unsafe. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So people turn into different people when they get on social media for some reason. I don't. I've suffered from bouts of like temporary insanity in social media, but I'm still the same person, only experiencing different emotions and moods. But I don't have like a social media persona. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have like a mask on when I'm in social media. So what you see is what you get. You know. Okay, Marcus. Okay. You be careful out there. Um, so people, they tend to be, they feel like they have to be the person that people expect them to be in social media. You know, they don't feel like they can necessarily be themselves, especially when people are posting their personal business in social media. Okay, when people are posting their personal life to social media, they feel like everything has to be perfect, and they and people do all kinds of stuff. So if you are waiting because uh, you know um I've had all sorts of experiences as far as with reuniting lovers, and I can tell you that if it's a person that posts in social media a lot, they may post various things that and it does not have to do with the work that you're getting done on them. It has nothing to do with what is even going to be the outcome because um again, like I said, a lot of people, when they do find love, it scares the shit out of them. And I think that it has a lot to do with death because eventually you're going to be separated from that person through death. And that's a very scary thing. I hear about people losing their husband and their wives, and just the look on their face like, I wish I was dead too. So it's that deep. So it's scary because when you're in love with somebody, you really don't want to ever be separated from that person. So it's easier for them to mask and cover things up. It's much easier to avoid love than to actually go through the motions of it and the actual emotions. That's very difficult. And so that's one of the reasons why a lot of you women, you'll get with a man and you're not the type of person to sleep around at all, and you'll be faithful, and they'll be running around with sluts. And women will not understand that. But that is because he is avoiding love because it's scary. So he'd rather do something easy. It's easier to do that simply because you can avoid love, which real love can be very painful at times. You know what I'm saying? But, and so, compared to you, All those other people are, they're like party fun time. You know what I'm saying? But, in reality, you can tell by the look in their faces that they're not actually having any fun. Okay. There's no fun there. There's no it's and that's why I said stop watching it, because you're watching this person go through all of these changes. And hopefully if you're doing reunion work, you're still talking to that person, like actually physically speaking to them, even if it's just a few days a week. But some of y'all have no communication with that person at all. Like they've ghosted you. And ghosting is what it is. That's what it is. It's they're gone. It's like they're not even there anymore. So a lot of people don't realize that when they're doing love reunions, they are actually reuniting that other lover with themselves. You are. And then you're reuniting the couple, because that happens a lot. And I don't, the way that I've seen it is that it can either be purposely done or either spirits. It could be spirits in your house. It could be spirits. That's why you got to protect your house. You got to cleanse your house. Okay. A lot of people, when it comes to stuff like that, they really don't know. That's why people will move into a house and, they'll get to arguing and stuff. Or, now if somebody everywhere they go, they just argue and they have the same problem, there's something going on there. But, it's a lot of different things that you have to consider. And, a lot of people don't know, they end up hurt, they end up bitter, they end up alone, they end up sad, you know. A podcast. I don't really have time to do a podcast. I guess I could. I guess I could. I don't really like what is that? Does that mean like you get more exposure or something? I don't know. I just usually come on YouTube. But thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. Yeah. So anyway, it ain't worth it. I wouldn't watch them. I done seen people, good Lord, I done seen people that got hit with some of that black magic, or either a spirit or something, or either they dealing with some stuff, and they just be on some stupid stuff. Like sometimes if you're still talking to them before the actual reunion, they may even say weird things to you that make no sense. And it's kind of like, what in the world? And sometimes when things don't make sense, we can't just say everybody is stupid and crazy. Like, spirits affect people in different ways. Okay. And I am a trained professional, and even sometimes I get negatively affected by stupid spirits. Okay. But I'm a medium though, so it can be difficult for me. That's another thing. Mediums are not necessarily witches, and witches are not necessarily mediums. But what I've noticed is that we live in a culture that tells people that it's all evil and sinister and that you shouldn't be involved. But I've noticed that people are mediums, and instead of them, because a medium, what is a medium? A medium is somebody that can communicate with the dead. What's a medium or a shaman? Spirits can come through shamans. So shamans and mediums have to learn how to control their spiritual gifts. So whoever told us to just be completely ignorant to it must have hated us because it ain't doing no good, you know? Mm, I'll look into that, Marcus. Thank you. I'll screenshot that. Thank you. I didn't know that I could do a podcast on Apple or Spotify. But like I said, it's much healthier to just, diagnose and identify people, who are mediums, psychics, and especially shamans. Spirits can come through shamans. If you are a shaman, you have to literally, like, if you're a shaman, a spirit can literally walk from another world through you because you're the vessel. And as that spirit is passing through, you are a different person. And so you have to really be able to check yourself. That's where, to me, that's where a lot of the mental illnesses are coming from. Okay. So there's a lot of people out there that are very spiritual and they have these gifts that they don't understand. And they've never ever actually been educated on it. The worst thing that has hurt us as a human civilization is our ignorance when it comes to our spiritual gifts. You know? Well, thank you, Marcus. I appreciate it. So, people need to stop being so afraid of it. We're taught to be afraid of our spiritual gifts. And it's really sad. You can make a choice to live better. Shamans have I know a couple of shamans. Okay, I know a few shamans, and they're very similar to mediums. The only thing is that, like I said, and spirits can actually travel through anybody, but with shamans, it's a little bit more complicated. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of research that is being put into it. You know what I'm saying? And people always focus on it in such a negative way. So, you know. But back to the discussion about the love work. Like the commenter before stated that she had spent thousands of dollars trying to get this person back. Um, who was that again? Let me go back up. Uh, Cole. Okay. Um, I can't really see the picture. It's too little, it's too tiny. Anyway, um, there's a lot of people that, when it comes to going to spiritual practitioners, there's a lot of people that really don't understand love on a deeper level, to the point where people are confusing they're confused. Let's put it like that. Okay. They're very confused about love. So it's very difficult to find a practitioner that can actually, make that happen for you. My guess is that the person that she was talking about, they soul them been snatched. So you can't just say, "Oh, I know how to do a love reunion," when you're not actually doing the necromancy. People think that necromancy has something to do with death magic. It doesn't. Necromancy is such a broad word. It's one word for many, many different things when you're dealing with spirit and spirits. Okay? Yeah. And some people are spirit walkers. But it's never good to like it's never good for people to sort of lose their intellect. And you can tell when somebody has lost their intellect when it comes to spirit possession or either soul walking or either soul snatching, because that person will say all kinds of things that, and you be like, what did you say? And what? And it'll be something that just don't make no sense. And it's not to say that that person is no longer smart, but when I say lose your intellect is when you kind of lose your mind, and you're kind of like saying all these strange things that kind of resembles a spirit to me. So especially a lot of you guys that have these husbands and lovers to where they're very unstable, and they and that could be a medium or a shaman, somebody that is capable of possession. And so if I can see that your lover is possessed, then we have to work on exercising them. And what makes it difficult and what makes it take so long is their them not being a part of it. So that's what can make it take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, because if we lived in a perfect world, you could drag in your lover and have them have work done on them, and then you can bring them back. But that ain't the case all the time. In fact, that's not the case most of the time. Okay. So that's what necromancy is. It's bringing somebody back from the dead, you know? And while you're doing that, another spirit done took over that person, and you'll look at that person and they'll even look different. Like, why they face look like that? What's wrong with their face? Their face will change. They'll even look different. But I done had clients that have saved people's lives though, just with their love, because that person was headed down a horrible path of destruction. And God knows we don't need no more inconsolable spirits roaming around here, still attached to this earthly plane, because it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, and they end up getting tormented in their own personal hell because, they destroyed their body. Because even though we're taught, oh, the body doesn't matter, yeah, it does. Why do you think that deceased people stay close to their bodies or their houses? Their spirits does. We can't get past that. Us human beings, whether or not we're a body or a soul, we are attached to our material possessions, and one of those material possessions is our bodies. And it don't matter how fat we are, how skinny we are, how tall we are, we have an attachment to our own bodies. Okay? And so you know, it happens. It does. It's and I've actually seen it. I've seen certain entities hold people's souls and trap their soul and just be tormenting the person's soul, telling them, ha ha ha, you can't get back to your body, and nobody knows what you're going through. And the person's soul is in torment. See, that's something as a woman, and that's why women are important, that you can pick up on when your lover is suffering. You can pick up on that. And their spirit is suffering, and then something else done took over their body, and they be wearing sunglasses and stuff in the dark. And you know what you doing wearing sunglasses at night for? That's a sign of possession. With somebody wearing sunglasses at night, why you don't want us to see your eyes? And people be having all kind of weird, off-putting behaviors. And if the body dies, because that's what spirits sometimes do. They create situations of death and destruction. And that person body dies, and then that spirit will say, "Go look, go look at what I did to you." It's some real evil, malevolent spirits out there, man, and they exist inside of the astral, and they can travel in and out if you tell them not to. Okay, so that's why people be posting all kind of weird stuff that don't make no sense. Y'all be in love one day, and the next day it be some other stuff. You be like, what is this? We was just in love 2 days ago. What happened? And a lot of these people that be running around here acting cray cray, you best believe that they was under some possession. I have been under possession, but see, I did some work over the weekend. I needed this time to myself. I did some work over the weekend to make sure that nobody could place us under possession. That's me, my family, my loved ones, my children. Can't nobody in my family be placed under no possession. So I made sure of that. So, because otherwise, you can have stuff that walk in, and you don't have to be a medium to be possessed. In fact, most people that are possessed are not mediums. They're just regular people. And, the reason why they stay possessed is because they don't know. They have no way of knowing. So it's very strange. It really is. I can tell y'all. Life itself is very strange and mysterious. And, a lot of people really can't handle it. The actual truth of what we're dealing with here. So, all right, guys. Well, that's my cue because y'all didn't stop chatting, and that's all I have to say. Please save yourself some trouble, because sometimes what y'all will do is y'all will see y'all ex doing crazy stuff in social media, and y'all say, "It's not, is it working? It's not working because I think that he done got married and something done happened." And please stop getting duped by those stupid government marital contracts. Don't nobody care. Don't listen. Listen. I will talk about this. I will talk about this. Hey Eve, I will talk about this. Them government contracts of marriage, they to me they don't mean nothing. Okay? They don't mean nothing. You know, isn't it, and I don't even know why people do them because it's hard to get out of them. And I believe that people do it because they be under possession. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to, I have a lot of respect for our justice system when my spirits have something to do with it. But I don't feel right about going and getting married at a justice of the peace with a person that I don't even know this person and they residing over my marriage. No, thank you. Okay. Okay. You too, Marcus. Have a good night. I really, really, really would rather marry myself. You don't have to have somebody else reside over your marriage. Y'all can marry each other. Y'all can just get married. You can lay in the bed and hold hands and say, we're married. You my wife, you my husband. You don't but see, they don't, the people, it's set up for you to, think that, that is because, they got to get paid too. They get paid for that. They get paid when you divorce, they get paid when you get married. So I'm not saying that people shouldn't get married that way, but I think that there's certain people that don't do it that way, and they don't do it that way for a reason. Okay? Because I don't, I just, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a part of that system. Now, when it comes to holidays, especially the pagan holidays, those are ours to celebrate the way that we want. So I don't believe in any conspiracy behind the holidays. No, I don't. I think that there are much worse conspiracies and things that people need to look into other than the pagan holidays. Okay? So I am a diehard celebrator of the holidays, and it's because they're pagan. Now, Thanksgiving is not a pagan holiday. But it's still okay to observe Thanksgiving. It's nothing wrong with it. But Samhain, Lanasa, Yule, Beltane, the summer solstice, the fall equinox, which is Mabon, those are pagan holidays, including Yule and Halloween. So, a lot of people um, I don't understand. Those are very, very important days. And I think that it is a time for you to, because, that's when the earth is doing things and it's shifting. And, this is a time when, um, you can make some really drastic changes in your life, especially Samhain. And so, um, yeah, and we wonder why there's so many unstable people because there's so many people that are getting away from, and just because we go back to doing things like when it comes to paganism, it doesn't mean that we're going to go back to things that we don't like slavery and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that, and I think that people have to understand that. Okay. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I'm going to go. Y'all have a, y'all have a Eve. I feel like you got a question though. Did you have anything that you needed to ask me today? before I go? Because I don't know why I felt like you had something that you either wanted to say or either ask me. If not, I'll just get out of here. Yep, I knew it was something you wanted to ask. What was it, honey? You can go ahead and ask me while I'm still here. I can tell you that what Spirit is already telling me is that y'all belong together. Even if he was a jerk off or a butthole, you belong with that person. Okay? So I can tell you that before you even ask me. Here's my drink me some root beer. Throat is kind of dry. Is that what you was gonna ask me, Eve? Okay, Cole. You know what? Text me at the number 470. Thank you, darling. Yes, I did get that. Text me at the number below. That's in the video description box, and we will coordinate your reading time. Okay, I do have openings for later today because it's 1 a.m. here. I don't know what time it is where you're at, but text me real quick, and or if you want to just text me, in the morning, then you can text me in the morning, and I'll text you whenever I get up because I'm getting ready to play Wadoku and fall asleep while I play my game. Okay. But thank you, darling. Yeah, I wasn't gonna like say anything, but yeah, I was gonna follow up with you. Yeah, text that number, okay? Thank you. Um, yeah, Ziana, I'm gonna get your reading done to later today. It's right here, 470-759-6389. Yep. Go ahead and text me and I'll text you back before I go to sleep. Um, yeah, and Ziana, we need to get your reading done. So um, text me sometime tomorrow. But um Eve, yeah, your ex, y'all supposed to be together and somebody done broke y'all up. Okay. So I can tell. Some woman broke y'all up. Some woman broke y'all up. And that's why y'all not together no more. Okay. And the breakup isn't gonna last, but the one thing about breakup spell work is that sometimes breakup spell work is a good thing. It's a good thing because sometimes people are together and they're stuck and they're stagnant, but sometimes breakup spells will like undo themselves, but it'll sometimes take like a year. It'll take like a year to for it to undo itself, and most people are just like, I got to move on right now, I got to have somebody right now. So and yeah, you got to get that spirit off him because it obviously it depends on what kind of breakup work. Look, when I do my breakup workings, I don't do negative destructive breakup spells. I don't do that because it's not my intent to harm or hurt anybody. So I don't do breakup spells to where, oh, they hate each other, oh, they want to kill each other. No, I am very responsible with my breakup working. It's very peaceful, it's cut and dry, and it's very powerful, and they break up. But sometimes all kinds of dark forces will be in there, and usually people will call on these very dark entities that hate women, and they attack the man, and then the next thing you know, the man is acting crazy, he's acting violent, and it can be a disaster, and you know what, a lot, it's very, very hard to trust somebody after some kind of malevolent spirit has possessed them. But I think that it's all about love. But right now, a lot, and that's why I quit watching a lot of that stuff, because I was watching like all these crime documentaries of women being hurt by their ex, and I said I need to stop watching this mess. Okay. Mm. Well, y'all belong together. Okay. Where is he? You know where he's at? Wow, since high school. Well, you look kind of young, so high school could have been a couple of years ago for you, because you look real young. So, um, that's another thing. You know that there's some people that start practicing witchcraft when they're 10 or 11 or 12 years old. You can have a boyfriend in high school, and you may have a witch. Okay. And see, I was a late bloomer. I wasn't practicing witchcraft, I was totally suppressed. Not that and you know what, I could have used my knowledge when I was in school. I would have probably did better in school, because and I did do good in school, but I just wasn't really interested in it. Like, I couldn't get into it because I wasn't into the whole politics of it, and I just, I wasn't into it. But even in school, even in college, you have a boyfriend in college, you have a boyfriend in high school, and you could have a witch work, not, you know what, okay, my spirits was correct. It could be a witch that works on the staff, a part of the faculty, or it could be one of your classmates is practicing witchcraft, and she may be very dark natured, or he may be very dark natured. It could be another guy at school that liked you. But what I was seeing was a woman, though, a girl. But so, you know what I'm saying? So, it doesn't matter. A lot of people think that there's an age limit on it. I look at a lot of them now. I do watch a lot of the witchcraft channels, and they'll say, I've been practicing witchcraft since I was 12 years old. And you know what? I believe them, because there was in my hometown, the school that I went to, I don't it just, it was a lot of violence there and a lot of craziness. So it wasn't really witchcraft, but more of these sophisticated high schools, or like, where the kids are really advanced, and there's witches on the faculty, so it's everywhere. And some people just like to, they just feel like they have they feel like, I know witchcraft, I have the authority to do it, and I'm going to do it. Or I just want to try something, let me see if I can do this. And which I don't agree with that, because I believe that when you are a witch, understand and don't take it for granted that that stuff can work, it will work. So don't be just doing stuff just for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying? Just, oh, I feel like doing this, so I'm gonna do this, and I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But who am I to judge? I can't control what people decide to do with their knowledge, but what I do know is that when they do it, you can undo it, you know. And a lot of y'all that all of a sudden, spirit just hits that person, and then they all of a sudden, I don't want to be with you. You don't, because you was just in love with me 2 days ago. Oh, I just decided I don't want to be with you. It's like, oh yeah, somebody done did some breakup work. Okay. Somebody done did that work. And you just have to reverse it. But that's the first thing that you have to do. You can't really do love work on top of a breakup work, and you just have to reverse it. Like you can't just, if somebody does a destruction working for the relationship to die or for y'all to break up or something, or you can't just throw a love spell on top of it and expect for it to work. No, you can't even throw a love dominate. You have to reverse that breakup work. You have to. Same thing if somebody does a working to make you lose your job, or anything that they do. And the best thing to do is to reverse it and keep it and jar it. You don't want to be burning petition. Sometimes when it's something that is as important as your relationship or your money or your job, you don't want to just have that temporary, like, especially if you're involved in something, to where there's some kind of spiritual war, you may end up having to reverse it, boost the reversal. And so that's why when I do reversals for people, I jar it now. Okay. I put that stuff in a jar and I keep it for the client. Okay. Because people keep doing that. So keep that in mind. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I hope y'all enjoyed this witching hour discussion. Thank you so much for coming. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, please, and thank you. Even though you can't see the ratings, it still makes a difference. So hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. And y'all have beautiful dreams, okay? Blessings.